Hello Badminton fans, and welcome to this biggest smash power racket we tested during 2019 and 20. Right, before we crack on with this particular video, we have got the new 2021 rackets all coming. I've got to tell you now, there's a huge amount of Yonex rackets. It's a crazy amount. This is one of them. It's the Astrox 0.7 DG. We've got a lot of the DG range coming in, plus the Astrox, new Astrox rackets and other rackets that Yonex have released, plus some Victors, plus some one Jnice racket, plus some Mizuno rackets, plus some leanings, and there's a few more I can't remember. Look out also for the new string group test, the shuttle group test, and the shoe test. The links are all down below if you want to have a look at them, and if you want to look at how to choose a badminton racket, see the videos below too. Okay, so the biggest smash power rackets we've ever not ever tested, the biggest smash power rackets of 2019 and 20. And I have to say, you will find we've excluded some rackets that you might expect in this list. One of them, for example, the Nano 9900, which scored a very respectable score, but after years of playing and trying, we felt that the Venom was the better racket to put in. Other rackets that scored really highly we have not included, simply because they are hard to get hold of and not available. Right, we're going to go in weight order here. So at the lowest weight, 63.6 grams, it is the Apacs Featherweight XS. This racket is crazy light, 63.6 grams. Are you kidding me right now? You cannot produce a smash from a 63.6 gram racket. Oh well, yes you can. 63.6 grams. This racket fires off a very respectable smash. Now don't get me wrong, put it up against a 4U racket and go full pelt, all power, and 4U racket will in the end deliver a heavier smash. But the great thing about this Apacs Featherweight XS, it goes from 0 miles an hour to full speed really fast, which means you will always have that full capability of very short swing range, allowing you to do late shots, hold the racket for longer, and you'll still generate a really decent shot which will put pressure on your opponents. Light rackets are not for everyone. They require such a significant timing change if you're coming off a heavier racket, but I was surprised how good the smash is with so little weight behind it. Obviously the shaft has to be so stiff because it flexes too easy, there's so little to it, and the balance has to be head heavy. Great racket, about £70 I think, the Featherweight XS, available in most of the world. You can buy it through us, you can buy it in India through our website, or you can buy it from Badminton Bay using discount code BRR5. Next on the list at 83.5 grams is the Venom. This is a super popular racket by Abroz. The Abroz Venom racket has been massive worldwide, super duper hit, massive positive feedback. Largely speaking, we've had one, maybe two people who felt, nah, it didn't really work for me. That's gonna happen, right? You can't make everyone happy, but the Venom has worked for so many people. It's sad to tell you that it will be discontinued during 2021, and the Venom 2 will come and take its place. And what big shoes the Venom 2 has got to fill. I would not want to be Abroz trying to replace a champ racket like this. Personally, I would have kept them both running side by side because this Venom is bonkers. It has electric airspeed, so fast in the air, has amazing repulsion, is a great air defense. The only two things that prevented it really getting a 100 out of 100 would have been the sweet spot size is quite small, so you do hit off center a fair bit, and in terms of its control, a little bit tighter control would have made it an absolutely perfect racket. But for what it is, it scored huge on the E zone, and it delivers a very respectable smash at 83.5 grams of weight. So next on the list at 84.3 grams is the Yonex Astrox 55. This is around 80 to 100 pound racket. Top-notch racket from Yonex, but even though it's 84.3 grams, oh my god, it could not play more opposite to the Venom in terms of its feel and style of play. While they both share one thing in common, which is really fast airspeed, the Astrox 55 is notably stiffer than the Venom, and that makes the repulsion that little bit harder to get from it. You've got to push a little bit harder to get the Venom, to get the Astrox 55 to shift the shuttle. However, the control levels are supreme on the Astrox 55. It has very good defensive game, a very good drive, and it delivered a really respectable smash at 260 kilometers an hour. It is an all-round amazing racket, but it is not going to be as easy to access that performance as the Abroz Venom. But it is a superb racket and definitely deserved a spot on this video. Okay, moving up the weight again, we come to the Mizuno Altius 03 Control 86.8 gram racket, and this racket really impresses. Now the Altius by Mizuno, there's the Altius 03 Power and there's the Mizuno Altius 03 Control. The 03 Control really should be the one that's all about placing the shuttle, pushing it into the right places and giving that level of control, and the 03 Power is the one that, as the name suggests, should give you the outright power. However, we didn't find that to be the case. We found that the 03 Control actually gave off the easier and bigger smash, and the 03 Power actually was pretty good in the sort of control and well, more suited to a strategist of a player than an outright power player. Really good power. Now if you pair up this racket, the 03 Control, with Yonex Aerobite, 26 pounds, it's an amazing combo. Try it. We thought it was brilliant. The Aerobite hasn't been tested in our group test yet, but can't wait to do that because that string is proving to be pretty amazing. Or the Leaning #1 with this racket works superbly. 26 pounds is a great pressure and string and combo for this racket. Has a really reasonable sweet spot size, is fast in the air, it's medium stiff to use, it's medium in its weight, and it is a superb racket, and you will be surprised how hard you can hit with this racket, despite the fact that it may, all the specs don't show it to be. It is actually pretty amazing. Okay, next on the list is, well, it should have been the Babbler Exact 85 XP, which weighed in at 88.2 grams. However, the availability is so bad from Babolat on this racket. It's so hard to get hold of this racket. We have excluded it from this video. So instead, we are going to put in the Babbler Exact 85 XF. Let me just go to the B-Zone page on that, and that weighs in at 89.2 grams. Now this racket scored a respectable score, not quite as high as the other ones I've already mentioned, but it delivered a pretty big smash. Now the thing to note with the Exact 85 XF, it is slightly heavier. It doesn't feel that quick compared to any of the other rackets we've already mentioned in the air, but if you do line up sweet with this racket, you do deliver. You will get a nice smash from it. Next on the list is a badminton racket review favourite, the Jnice Black Panther 3U. I don't even need to look at the specs for this racket because it's the racket that I personally use in my day-to-day badminton. The 3U racket for me personally is so quick. It's so quick for a 90 gram racket. One person has said, I think it was on YouTube, that the Arc Saber 11 felt quicker, lighter. We can't even get our head around that comment. I don't understand why there's a difference in different parts of Asia on these rackets. There seems to be differences. The ones that we're supplied always are the same. They're light, they're fast. I'm not the only one in my club that uses the Black Panther now, and it is quick for its weight. It's very fast for its weight, and because it has that airspeed factor, as we mentioned in how to choose a badminton racket, the fourth aspect of choosing a badminton racket, despite the weight, the shaft stiffness, the balance point, is airspeed, and the Black Panther has the airspeed, and because of that it delivers a very respectable smash, on top of which it has amazing control and such great stability when you're trying to control the shuttlecock. For us, me personally, my personal makeup, with my experience, with my muscles the way they are, my where I'm at and all that stuff, it works great. And for other players in a similar place, it works pretty well too. I'm not sure intermediate players will get a lot from it. Beginners is definitely not your cup of tea, but it is really a great racket. The next on the list is the Yonex Voltric 20DG Gordon Bennett. Racket is pretty heavy, weighs in at 91.4 grams. It felt heavy. It was a fairly stiff shaft, head heavy balance. It's the nightmare racket for me personally, because those sort of rackets give me shoulder and elbow pain. However, there are young players out there who are robust, big and strong and can handle that kind of stuff. And let me tell you, if you can handle that racket, it's going to be like a tornado coming off your racket with the shuttlecock. If you can generate the airspeed with that Yonex Voltric 20DG, oh my god, your smash is going to be Hulk-like. It's going to be crazy. Okay, you've got to try that racket if you've got the ability. Yeah, your technique's going to need to be good, and you're going to need to have that power. You've got it, because there's a lot of players out there we've come across, you know, big 6-footers, super wide, super big, but they've got the technique that goes with it. Huge forearms, massive shoulders. They get off crazy power. To be honest with you, you don't even need all that. If your technique is solid, like you see with the badminton players on the international circuit, none of them are huge, but all their small tendons in their arms are so tuned in to badminton, they let off huge smashes. The last one we're going to include is the Felet Woven TJ Power 3U. Now this racket, let me just go to my Felet page here. The Felet, it was a I really like Felet rackets. I really do. I think that the quality of build is really good. The stability on the impact of shuttle is absolutely crazy. They feel more professional as rackets than any of the Astrox rackets we've tried. So stable, such good control, and they can deliver a whopping smash. If anything, if they were just a little bit quicker on the defensive side of stuff, I would have put them down to some of the best rackets that we've tested. But they are supreme. If you're looking for a professional grade racket, forget about the Astrox 99, the 100ZZ. I can't talk about the 100ZX, we haven't tried it, but the Felet Woven 3U, wow, you're going to like it. And I'm talking about a 92-point-gram racket. So for those of you who think we only prefer light, flexible rackets, you know, this may be a case where, and as with the Black Panther, where you may understand it is not just about weight and flexibility, it is about airspeed, it is about stability of the racket and how nice and easy it makes your life to use that racket. You know, if you're walking off with a heart strap that's going crazy because the amount of effort you're putting in, I just don't see the point in that crap. Why would you want to put yourself through all that for what little, you know, the gain normally is very little for all that effort. What we want is we want to be able to play our game, feel pretty fresh and be getting all the shots off. That is the ideal club scenario. That is the ideal anything scenario. Mark my words, more and more professionals will be heading down to this fast airspeed rackets as opposed to the super heavy, super stiff, super head heavy rackets. That's where we're heading, mark my words. Now listen, we've done the best string 2020 tests. I'm sorry everything's coming out so late. We did all these tests last year, COVID came, everything got delayed. Shoes, shuttle group tests, all done. Fastest rackets we've tested, best overall rackets we've tested, and how to choose a badminton racket. All the links are below, go check it out. Don't forget the subscriptions, the love, we need the love. The support has been amazing. We really appreciate everything we've received so far. But for now, we're done on this video. We'll see you on the next one.